Welcome to Ocmulgee Mounds National Historical Park. I'm Ranger Angela, and I'm going to talk to you about the Archaic period. So during this time period, it starts around 8000 BC, and the main food source for the people were the white-tailed deer. So before this, they were using spears to hunt with. Well, you just can't go up to a deer and stab it with a spear. It's going to run away. So they had to develop a brand new tool called an atlatl. And basically what an atlatl is this right here. It's basically just a stick with a rock on it to counterbalance it, and they would hook a deer antler into it, and that would be their spear. So they would actually throw it, they would hold it up level like you see here, and throw it at the deer. They could actually keep their distance away from the deer and still hunt it that way. So that was a major tool that the men developed. As far as the women, they actually learned to develop pottery. The oldest pottery in the United States was actually found in Georgia near the Savannah River. We don't actually have any whole pots, but we have pieces of pots that were found here. They would use the pots to store food in, they would use it for eating out of, and for cooking. But when they tried to cook in the pots, they couldn't handle the heat of the fire, so they would crack open and all the food would come out. So sometimes when they wanted to fix like soup, what they would have to do was actually build a fire, and they would use what's called boiling stones. They would put the stones into the fire, the rocks would actually heat up, and then they would put the hot rocks into the soup and fix their food that way. So that was some of the development that the women had. They would also, besides eating white-tailed deer, they ate many animals, but they also ate fish. And you see in this drawing here, there's a man, and this is an alligator garfish, and we actually still have them in the park today. And they would make fish hooks out of deer bones. They could also use shells, things like that. And these are some other tools that they would use. These are drills. They would have to drill holes in rocks, like for the boiling stones that you saw. And then these are awls. That's how they would punch holes through the deer hide to make clothing and sew them together. And then we have some hide scrapers as well, where they would scrape off the blood and guts from the animals to make their clothing. There wasn't much change during this time period. They were nomadic, which means they moved from place to place. So for about 8,000 years, they had to go wherever their food source was going. So basically they had to follow the deer herds around the different areas in order to find food.